Today, we're diving into a topic that's, well, it's deeply personal and can be incredibly painful. We're going to explore the landscape of narcissistic abuse, but not just from a psychological angle. We're going to look at it through a spiritual lens, as a profound challenge to the soul itself. You know that feeling, right? Where you walk away from someone and you just feel hollowed out, confused, like a part of you is just gone. If you've ever felt that, you're not alone. And the material we're looking at today suggests that what you're feeling is more than just being tired or sad. It's a deep, soul-level experience. Okay, so here's our roadmap for this journey. We're going to break it down into 5 key parts. We'll start by putting on a new spiritual lens. Then we'll look at the soul as a kind of battlefield. From there, we'll see how our own will gets hijacked, and most importantly, how to reclaim it and reframe this whole thing as a powerful initiation. Now, psychological models are fantastic, they're super helpful. But the work of Rudolf Steiner, which is our source for this, invites us to look deeper. It asks us to look at the spiritual dynamics behind the curtain of the abuse and what it really means for our soul's journey. So this gets us to the absolute core concept here, soul wounding. And we're not just talking about a bruised ego. The source describes this as a direct attack on our essential spiritual functions, our will, our life force, and the very thing that holds our inner self together. It's a deliberate fragmentation of who we are at our core. So if we're calling this a soul-level event, what's actually happening on that plane? Well, the source paints a picture of a spiritual battlefield. It suggests there are very specific adversarial forces at work, and that narcissistic behavior is one of the main ways they show up in our modern world. Okay, this is absolutely fascinating. The source gives us a map, what it calls a dark triad of forces. First, there's the Luciferic. Think of grandiose narcissism. It's all about seduction, false light, spiritual ego. Then you have the Ahrimanic. This is the cold, controlling, materialistic side, which lines up with covert narcissism. And finally, there's the Asuric force, which is the darkest of all. Its goal is to completely sever the soul from its spiritual source, which you see in the most malignant forms of psychopathy. And this brings us to the ultimate prize these forces are after, your will. We're not just talking about being controlled here. We're talking about having your own inner compass, your own life's directive, being systematically taken apart and used by someone else. This hijacking isn't random. It's a strategic, 3-pronged attack that goes after the core functions of your soul, your ability to think, to feel, and to will. Let's break down exactly how that works. So here are the tactics. Your thinking gets attacked by gaslighting until you can't trust your own mind. Your feeling gets twisted by emotional manipulation until you can't tell what's real anymore. And your will, your power to act, gets shut down through control. The end result of all this? A total drain of your life force, what the source calls an energetic entrapment. This all leads to a state called externalized will. It basically means your power to choose and act isn't coming from you anymore, from your true I. It's being intercepted, rerouted, and used to fuel someone else's agenda. And that's why so many survivors talk about that bone-deep fatigue, the inability to make a simple decision and feeling like a passenger in their own life. Okay, that was heavy, I know. But this is the turning point, because this is not where your story ends. As devastating as this all is, it actually opens the door to a profound opportunity to reclaim yourself. This part is all about the path back to your own inner sovereignty. So, how do we do it? The source material gives us a really clear, active path. First, you strengthen the I. That's your higher self, your spiritual core. Then you develop spiritual discernment. It's like building a muscle that can tell the difference between truth and illusion. That leads to moral courage, having the guts to act on your truth. And finally, you restore rhythm. Simple things like sleep, creativity, time in nature, they all help heal your life force, which gets totally scrambled in the chaos of abuse. And this quote from the source it gets to the very heart of this entire perspective. This experience is not meant to break you. It is an initiation. It is a trial by fire designed to burn away everything that is not your true, indestructible self, so that the gold that was always inside you can finally be seen. So let's zoom out one last time to see the biggest picture. This incredibly personal journey of healing, it's presented as part of a much larger spiritual evolution. It's an initiation not just for you, but for all of us. The idea here is that by facing down these specific dark forces, by healing from these wounds, your soul is actually being prepared for a whole new stage of human consciousness. So your healing isn't just for you, it's a contribution to a collective awakening. The source calls this coming era the Age of Sophia, named after the divine feminine principle of wisdom. So in this light, your healing journey is a kind of sacred training. You are literally forging the qualities, truth, real freedom, and sovereign love that will be the building blocks of a new world. So, to bring it all home, we've reframed narcissistic abuse as a spiritual battle. We've looked at the dark triad of forces behind it, we've seen how they target your will, and we've laid out a path to take your power back. But the biggest shift of all is seeing this whole thing not as a story of being a victim, but as a profound initiation, a journey from your deepest wound to your greatest wisdom. And that's the question I want to leave you with. Just sit with this for a moment. What if the very thing that felt like it was going to destroy you was actually designed to forge you, to make you fully whole? What if your deepest wound isn't your ruin, but your initiation into your own light?